Hey guys, my name is X Factor. Hope you're having a great day. We're going to cover the Wingman and Peacekeeper nerf, along with some other updates that went live today, what's to come over the next couple weeks, especially with Season 1 approaching in Apex Legends. If this footage looks a little different, it's because Apex Legends is a very beefy program which had some more updates, and NVIDIA and Respawn fixed some issues, and now the new drivers are actually stable and give you performance boost on the RTX cards. So we've at least updated to the newest drivers. We aren't crashing anymore. This isn't an NVIDIA issue. It was 100% a Respawn issue, and that's great. We probably played 16 hours in the last couple of days, not a single crash. But the footage does feel wonky or look wonky. It's because we are recording straight off the streaming PC. So what the stream sees, you see. So you're not getting the 1440p, you're getting the 1080p juiciness. So let's get right into some of these adjustments. Now, we all know the Peacekeeper and the Wingman were super common since the start of this game. One issue you might not have known about that Respawn is already fixed is being able to duplicate anything in your inventory. Oftentimes, you'd see full squads running choked out Peacekeepers and Wingmans with the Skull Piercer, and it was just a nightmare. You could hear the shotgun rounds going off from across the map, and it was non-stop. Very little SMG, AR, or LMG use, which was absolutely absurd. So not only did they fix that, they actually, as of today, live across all platforms, adjusted the drop rate of both the Peacekeeper and the Wingman. So not only can you not duplicate them anymore, but they are much, much more rare. I did not run into a single squad where 3 people had a Wingman or a Peacekeeper. Few people maining both guns. And that's not the only change that they made. They actually made some adjustments to these weapons, which is actually a buff to SMGs, ARs, and LMGs. First, the Wingman. The first thing to do is reduce the rate of fire. Believe it or not, the Wing of Men could shoot 3.1 rounds a second. That's down to 2.6 shots per second, which is still a very, very fast shooting pistol. Mind you, it still hits for 45 in the chest. Obviously, if the lower body, there's quite a bit of reduction there. You get some 40s and 41s. And they did tweak the headshot multiplier when Skull Piercer is on the Wingman. Instead of doing 2.5 times damage, it's 2.25. Still hits like a truck. But probably the most important change that they did, increased base hip fire spread and decreased the rate at which hip fire spread shrinks back down. This thing was a hip fire machine. I tried not using the Wingman too much in my rounds because it's easy mode. It was easy claps all day. If the aim was on point, people died, and there's very little penalty to using the Wingman. You pop out of your cover, pop a couple shots, back in. Meanwhile, you might be going against somebody with an SMG, an AR, or a sniper. They just can't duplicate that sort of damage. The Wingman was too low risk, too high a payoff. Now, there's a little bit more risk involved. You're going to have to aim down sight more to be accurate, especially at those longer ranges past 10 or so meters, and you can't just hit fire spam it. What they did not touch is your aim down sight speed. In Apex Legends, when you strafe side to side on PC, it's called AD spam. It is one of the fastest weapons in the game. There's a very small reduction of 15%-ish. So that means you retain 85% of your hip fire speed. So if you're Bangalore, that's passive, or if you're Bloodhound, which is alted, you're flying still. They didn't mess with that. And that might be something that they tweak in the future if these changes aren't enough. Now, I played all night. I had an absolute blast. Dumpster people with SMGs, the Havok, and the 301 Carbine and LMGs all night long. Felt absolutely amazing. I was extremely happy and gratifying because I don't main either the Wingman or the Peacekeeper, which is a second weapon that got adjusted. The only thing they did to the Peacekeeper so far, they didn't mess with the choke and hitting people for 110 to 125 at 100 meters. The only thing is the rate of fire. Now, the base rate of fire was not changed. What they did change is as you get your level 1, your level 2, your level 3 bolt, the gray, blue, and purple, now it's not firing as fast. So it went from 10% to 7.5% for level 1. Level 2 was quite a bit of adjustment. Went from 20% to 13% faster rate of fire from base. And level 3, which is pretty common, the bolts, 25% to 16%. So overall, you're kind of seeing from top to bottom almost a double-digit change. You're not seeing a 25% boost anymore. You're getting 16 if you got the purple bolt, which is almost double digits and puts it more in line. Again, a risk reward. If you miss your shot, you simply can't spam another out like you could before with either weapons. Now it felt like these weapons were more in line and actually give weapons like the SMG, which should be extremely good up close, the ARs and the LMGs decent at their respective ranges as well. But you also have to remember, to gear out a Peacekeeper, you really don't need a bolt. You really just need the choke. An SMG to compete needed most certainly a light extended mag, which is a very rare peppy. It more than likely needed a butt stock so you could ADS quicker. Then, of course, the barrel stabilizer to take out some of that horizontal drift and a little bit of the recoil. Only then could you really compete. Now I felt decent with just gray stuff on my SMG and maybe just a gray mag. I didn't feel absolutely naked. Now, pro tip, there's energy ammo everywhere. There are more Havocs and more turbochargers. We saw 4 or 5 turbochargers in our first 2 rounds of the day. Please do not sleep on the Havok. Yes, it has more horizontal and a more aggressive vertical recoil. Put a 2-time optic. If you can tame this beast, it is absolutely one of my favorite weapons. Yes, you get the aim down sight reduction, the strafe speed, just like other ARs, but you can absolutely make giblets of people if they're not right up your wahoo dilly and in your face. Quick rips for 100, and of course reset it. Now it does have a very nasty vertical recoil to start and calms down a little bit, but again, I've loved maining this weapon before the live patch today, but the turbochargers were so hard to find. You'd either find a turbocharger and then there's no Havok, you're carrying it around, you can't find energy ammo, or you'd find a Havok, 200 energy ammo, and then no turbocharger. So if you can't spool it up instantly, it absolutely is at a drawback, especially if people know how to play cover and the high movement system that is available in Apex Legends. But if you catch somebody out and you get it spooled up, it's still good. We melted quite a few people using it. But again, if you find a turbo, pick it up. Energy ammo is all over the place now. It's not skimpy. And of course, the Havok. Do not sleep on it. I'm not a big fan of the Devotion. I'd rather have a Spitty. That weapon's absolutely amazing still. And you'll find that people that have sustained aim, that can hold their aim and control recoil over time, are most certainly rewarded by this patch. Absolutely makes ARs and SMGs more competitive. I think Respawn did a great job with the first balance pass. They didn't go overboard. The Wingman and Peacekeeper are still absolutely amazing. And you see a little screen tearing there because the stream's kind of dumping frames because the game doesn't perform too hot when the Bangalore bringeth the pain. So apologize for that, but we're trying to work out some of those recording bumps. Now, feature adjustments coming. Hitboxes are being looked at. They talked about not wanting to nerf somebody like Wraith, but power up the chonky boys, which is Caustic, Pathfinder, and one of my favorites, Gibraltar, which gets insta-gibbed against shotguns. So look for hitbox fixes there. I think they alluded to shrinking some of the chonkier boys down and cleaning up the hitboxes, which is huge because they're really, really sloppy. Not to mention if you have the Twitch Prime skin on Pathfinder that adds like 12 to 14% to an already massive hitbox. So that's coming for Season 1, but they also have a backup plan ready to act on if that is not enough. So Respawn is extremely active. What I am sad about and what holds me back from giving this game more than a 7.5 is the netcode is still dumpster tier, one of the worst out there. Delays, tick rate, all of that stuff. And, of course, anti-cheat. Now, the good news is this is the first time I didn't see a blatant hacker in a very long time, or multiple in a day. The bad news is Respawn's kind of made some tweets to people, but they really haven't made an official stance. Hopefully, the anti-cheat gets better integration quickly because it's extremely frustrating on PC, and yes, you guys don't have to deal with that on console, and it's getting a little bit old. Now, before I leave you, this is the best teammate I've ever had. He actually stuck around, did 1 damage somehow, looked up my videos, asked me how I was shooting so well, dropped a follow, a sub, stuck it out. Guy's a beast. As always, thanks for watching, hanging out, and we'll see you soon.
The solo dub.
Nice job.
You did good, mate.
You are the Apex
Thanks for the round.
champions.
Too bad that guy quit. You'd have gotten dub.
Yeah, poor guy.
How do you do 1 damage?
You know what?
Uh-huh.
I have no answer
Okay. Good.
for that question.
Good round. I appreciate you sticking in there.
That was a
If
good
you
one,
watch
mate.
my video, you'll get 2 damage around. You'll double your damage, guaranteed. Double.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
I'll hold you to that.
Okay.
I'll hold you to
Thank
that.